Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I hope that you have a beautiful day, that you had a beautiful day, and that you are going to have a beautiful day. Did you wish a beautiful day? If not, then wish upon a star. Wish for yourself a beautiful day. Today, we're going to talk about the law of cause and effect. Well, that's the title I gave to this session. But the reason for it is, do you have a dream? Do you have in your heart something that you wanted to do, but you are so scared? I know public speaking is one of the most feared by all humans on earth. But if you have this burning desire to tell your story, because all of us have beautiful stories, and sometimes we don't know if we will be healed more, or if we can change somebody else's life because of your story. So what if you dream? So my beautiful ladies and gentlemen, I've got my giants that have changed my life, that helped me to become a public speaker on the show today. But first of all, I would love you to if you give me permission, do my imagine meditation I did before I said I wanted to be a public speaker. I just had to make sure from the inside out that is what I wanted to do. So it's a close eye or open eye exercise. And the thing is, you want to be a public speaker. So now we're going to experience with all our senses, is this what I want to do? So first of all, you've got this public speaking event, and you see in this beautiful auditorium, the people is coming in and starting to sit down, and your butterflies is in your stomach, and you are so nervous, but you are so excited. And then you look yourself in the mirror, and yes, for me, I had my hat on, I had my beautiful dress on, I had no shoes on, and I was waiting for the music to cue. My forever song is Walking on Sunshine, and it started to play. I felt the butterflies. I felt like a kid. I actually want to run onto the stage. And then I start to dance, and I see the people is looking at me, and I experience what I experienced, the most amazing experience. And I didn't understand that. Oh, I'm so sorry, my beautiful ones. Let me just put it there. And then the most amazing thing happened. The people started to dance with me. And then I deliver my beautiful speech, my beautiful story. I could see what I could see. I could hear what I could hear. And I could feel what I could feel. And afterwards, the applause was amazing. I have dreamt to be a public speaker, and it was amazing. So even if you don't want to do public speaking, you can actually use your imagination for anything that you want in life. And then, my beautiful ones, the day that I have decided to do, I want to be a public speaker, I put it on my bucket list. I went through this beautiful meditation of imagination. A few hours later, I received on Facebook an advertisement from Marty Dickinson. And wow, I will say from there, everything have changed. But before I'm going to bring all of them on, my beautiful giants, I just want to thank my sponsor, E360 TV, beautiful Aaron Haynes, the CEO, and Majid that does all my beautiful artwork. Thank you so much. And then I also would like to thank Angel Marie Mortatellis from the Shine On show for giving me 12 episodes. If there's anyone who want to sponsor me for future episodes, please DM me. It will be amazing to be able to continue with my show. Oh, wow. I am so excited. Here is my giants. I am so excited. And it's totally an honor to be able to introduce you to my viewers and the world. So I'm going to ask Marty to start us off. He have teach us how to give our opening statement. And I must just say, Marty, everywhere people notice me because of my opening statement. So Marty, please give us your opening statement.
Well, I'm excited that I'm the first of all your guests to be able to say how proud we are of you. I mean, you were a person that joined our very first Speakers Speak Live event ever. That was almost 2 years ago, and you were flat out. You were honest with us. You said, I've never given a speech before. I have no idea how to even do it. And I'm here and I am nervous because we were all pretty seasoned speakers already before we started Speakers Speak Live. And you came to us just so raw and yet so invigorated with the idea of getting into speaking. And that was so exciting to us. So my opening statement is how proud we are of you. As an introduction, if that's what you're looking for as well. Well, my name is Marty Dickinson, and my main company is HereNextYear.com. I work with business owners and sales agents who want to use speaking on stages to attract red hot leads by the dozens so that the sales process is easy and natural and produces long-term customer loyalty. So again, my name is Marty Dickinson with HereNextYear.com.
Oh, wow. Amazing, amazing. So the next one I would love us to introduce him is Dr. Michael Alexandra, my coach. Please, you can also just say something and then introduce yourself. Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much, Sunit. And I mean, not just for the chance to be here, but for the reality that you have become something that we can be proud of. You know, I like to tell people I'm lazy. I want to do as much good in the world as I can, but I don't want to have to do the work myself. So I count on people like you who I can help and make it possible so that you can do the good work. And that magnifies what I can do so much more. Alexandra Talks is a way of helping people think creatively. Businesses develop new plans, new organizations, individuals get past their problems with new ways of thinking. Because if you come up with the same approach that you've always used, then you're limited to what you always had before, and you want more than that. Sunit, you are a marvelous example to somebody who went beyond what you had before and have more than that. And you've delivered that more than of that to all of us. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Michael. And then my beautiful daughter, all over to you.
Okay. There was a little bit of hesitation, but hey, I'm Dar Geiger, and I'm the author of Reignite Your Joy. Let God lead your dance through life. And I have had the privilege of getting to know Marty through being my publisher of my book, which God ordained that I would write to share his love and his joy with others and to teach others how to navigate through trials like I've been through all of my experiences and still experience hope and joy. And it's based on my story of recovery from addictions, the loss of 2 soulmates, breast cancer, and how I heard from the Lord to share his love and his joy with others. Well, when you and I met on Marty's program, and we had a natural, Dana, Michael, Valda, you and I, we all kind of had a natural admiration and love for one another kind of spontaneously. And I see that as God's love all through all of us. And it's just an honor to be here. And I'm so excited to see my soul sister arrive at where she is today and honored to be on this show. It's so good to see. I mean, it's a God story how you found Marty, how Marty found you. It's a total God story. You couldn't have done it on your own. Couldn't have organized it all. So I love God stories. Anyway, I'm glad to be here.
Oh, wow, my beautiful daughter. Thank you so much. And my travel buddy, traveling so many thousands of miles to come and fetch me in, it sounds terrible if I say fetch me in Dallas, Texas. Take me to Kansas to see The Wizard of Oz, my all-time favorite fairy tale. Oh, wow, Dana, please introduce yourself.
Oh, Sinead, so happy to be here. If you want a good travel buddy, if you want to have fun, Sinead is the gal to go with. I will just tell you right now, she is so much fun. I am Dana Morgan Barnes. I am Coach Dana Inspires, and I speak to small to medium manufacturing companies about how they can add kindness to their company culture while adding profits to their bottom line. And my website is CoachDanaInspires.com, very cleverly titled. And I am spreading kindness because I truly believe that everybody out there, can change the world one person at a time with kindness. Whether you're being kind to them, or what if someone is kind to you? What does that do for you, your day, your well-being? So kindness rules the day.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. I'm just sorry, I just muted um, so that we don't have that echo. So, guys, just be aware I have muted you, Dor and Micah and Marty. And then there's one more lady in the back. So, can I just quickly bring her in? Valda, I thank you so much for being here. I know that you are on your mobile and you had so much difficulty to get in, but I am over the moon that you are here. And as the others also know, I call you my dame. You are the lady that speaks all around the world, and I've learned so much from you as well. Please introduce yourself. It will be so amazing. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It's so good to be here. And my apologies, there's background noise. I couldn't find a quiet space in this entire hotel that doesn't have piped in music. But I'm Valda Ford. My background is nursing. I've had the opportunity to work in 60 countries around the world, and it is my joy and my passion to try to decrease health inequities and to make sure that everyone does have the best life they can. And in the meantime, I get a chance to talk a lot. And as a child, since all my folks were telling me to shut up and sit in the corner, this is such a joy that people pay me to talk. And I love it. And I love being here. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Valda. And thank you for trying your best to be on the show. So I'm going to start with Marty. So my beautiful Marty, tell us, why you decided to do Speakers Speak Live. As you know, the public speaking is the world's most fear thing to do. Why? And I'm so thankful you did, because then I could have joined and have met all of you, and you could have helped me. You helped me, all of you helped me to be on stage on 8th of January 2021, where I experienced all those wonderful things that I have dreamed. Go ahead, Marty. I will just unmute you. There you are.
Yeah, well, when Speakers Speak Live began, it was almost 2 years ago, and I was co-hosting a weekly event with world-known consultant for professional speakers. Of course, I just said that. Like, who are we talking about? and I realized that we were meeting weekly, and people were getting so much out of weekly discussions. Lois Kramer, by the way, was the person that I'm talking about. I didn't mean to leave that out on purpose. But we were co-hosting this event called Make Money Speaking every week on Clubhouse, and I realized how much people were improving in their conversations on Clubhouse when they attended week after week after week. And I thought, we need to be doing this on Zoom, because we were coming out of the lockdown from COVID, and speakers were starting to get more active in-person presenting again, but so many were not. So we needed someplace to go where we could get together and practice our virtual presentation skills, but at the same time, just get together to support each other, because we were all out there trying to get on stages again and being on virtual stages and presenting. So we needed to support each other and be introduced to each other. It's turned into a vast networking event where you develop these deep relationships with other speakers. And if you want to use speaking to build a business, or if you actually want a career change and you want to get into professional speaking, the best way to do it is to connect with other speakers so that they know about you and make deep connections to make that happen. So there's more of a shift that's happened. We've started with just the practicing of speaking in Speakers Speak Live, but now there's so much focus on making those connections after the event and getting to know each other. So that's where we came and where we are now. And it all started from just a discovery that we all need to be supported by each other and have a place weekly to go to practice speaking.
Wow, thank you so much, Marty. And the way that you have structured the show, because it's actually amazing. We're able to practice to come and do our 10 minutes speech, and then also be a session leader. And then the way that you have broken up and later on have moved us into, the different rooms. How did that idea come along?
Well, we used to we had only 12 to 14, maybe 15 people that would meet every week, and we'd have maybe one or two first timers, and they'd come in, and somebody attended last week, couldn't make it the week before. So we sort of always had this 12 to 14 to 15 people. But then as it grew, we had more and more people attending, and we really wanted to keep the event to just an hour. So just by growth, we needed to have small breakout rooms so that we could still practice introducing ourselves. I think it's really important. As you heard each person individually introduce themselves, it was very easy for them to do that. And if you're not used to introducing yourself in a networking group or online in a group that nobody knows who you are, and they say, "So what do you do?" Well, I'm thinking about that. Well, we had to practice that as speakers. So that's half of our program, is practicing the introduction format. We have a framework that we use, and we practice it every week. And some of our members, it takes them a few weeks, if not even a couple of months, to really perfect just that 10, 15, 20 seconds of what they use to introduce themselves. So that's half of the component. But then it grew into numbers. So now we have 6, 7, sometimes 8 different little breakout rooms with 5, 6, 7 people introducing themselves. It's just a very critical point of any virtual live program, where it gives us the opportunity to practice those introductions. And more, I would even say more importantly than the introductions themselves, is getting the feedback for those introductions. So you give your introduction, and then we have 20 seconds on the clock for people to give just comments about what might have stood out as a job well done in that introduction. And if there's anything that stood out that really needs to be improved about that introduction. I didn't get it. I don't know what you were talking about when you said that. So you get this little note and you practice it for the next time. So we've carried that through to our showcase presenter, who gives 10 minutes of their best stuff. And then everyone in the entire room, if we have 20, 30, or even 40 people, everybody gives 10, 15, 20 seconds of a comment of what they feel that showcase presenter did well and what they need to work on. And what better way to get that feedback than from other professional speakers who are out there on stage receiving feedback from their audience, because they bring all that interpretation to their feedback at Speakers Speak Live. So that is a nutshell of the program and why it's been so helpful for everyone, because we're really there just to support each other in that growth and constant improvement.
Wow. Thank you so much, Marty. And I can just say from my point of view, I was in the first time I had to give feedback, I was like, it was just beautiful. That's all I wanted. And I don't know if you remember, I think the second one, I put my glasses on, because if you did something beautiful, I put my glasses on. But later on, all those comments also helped me to refine my story, my approach, my hand gesture. It was like amazing. But I want to go to Dana now, because she is your right hand man, but woman. And then I know she goes like this, but I would love to ask her. I will just unmute you. You did unmute yourself. Thank you, Dana. Dana, I know that you know Marty for many, many years, and you are also you are an international speaker. How did you find the concept of Speakers Speak Live and the people? And I know you do a lot. You organize everything. How is it for you?
Well, I have known Marty for a long time. He was just a young pup when I met him, and we've just worked together in different areas of my business and his business. We've kind of just talked and supported each other, I guess. And I've hired him for a few things, and he's kicked me out of a few things, and he's never very gently if he's kicked. But Speakers Speak Live, I think, is so important, because if you're going to speak and get paid for it, you really need feedback from other speakers, other people who have been on the stage and have gotten $5,000, $10,000 for a keynote speech. There's another organization. I'm not going to bash them. They're a great organization. It's called Toastmasters. For anybody who's just getting their feet wet, and they're not looking to be a public speaker, they want confidence. They want to build their confidence. I've been a Toastmaster for almost 30 years. I'm not a slow learner. I just like seeing the new people come up and gain their confidence. Toastmasters is a great place, but it is not the place to be a public speaker. This is not where you're getting that feedback. So if you want to be in a contest, good, that's all good. But this is getting paid. The contest is that paycheck when you walk off that stage to a standing ovation. And I will tell you, the first time I got a standing ovation, I understood what addiction truly was. I said, I want more of that. I want that. It was unbelievable. It was a room of 1,500 people, and a standing ovation will just knock your socks off. So the Speakers Speak Live for me is a way of growing for myself, and also a way of giving back to people that are out there that really want to change the world by what they're talking about. I speak about kindness because I truly do believe that kindness is how we're going to get through this life. I've spoke in the Middle East several times. I love the Middle East. I love the Middle East culture. They are so open and willing to hear about how kindness can change a workplace. And so when I hear the showcase presentations on Speaker Speak Live, we could be talking about leadership. We could be talking about joy. We could be talking about losing weight, being more healthy. I mean, there's all kinds of speakers on there. Every time, not only do I learn about the speaker, I learn about that subject, but I also learn things that I can use for my presentations. So this is a real great vehicle to get your public speaking off and running. Yeah, love it.
Thank you, my beautiful Dana. And I know that you're also the timekeeper. And then you press the cell phone. I'm so scared when it's my turn to talk. I just want to make sure that you don't press that that phone to say time is up, time is up. Thank you so much, my beautiful Dana. So, Dr. Michael Alexandra, I wanted to ask you. You are helping so many, especially in court case. There is so many people that you help. You have helped me with my signature speech that I did on a project that Marty did for us November 2021, and you were my speech coach. How do you feel of helping others? And then also your feedback. Can I just tell you, on the Speaker Speak Live, I was so scared of you, but in a kind way, because you were like, you will tell people exactly what you think. And I know that people needs to hear to change. But then I thought, oh, I'm going to email you and ask you, how will you suggest for me? Because I thought if I get a few of your tips, then when it's my turn to speak for 10 minutes, I will say kinder. I don't know if that's the right word to say, but that's how we got connected, because I was a little bit scared of you. So I know you have helped me tremendously, and you are such a great friend to me. So how do you feel helping others and the concept for the Speaker Speak Live?
I start off by saying, fundamentally, that you are an example of exactly why I want to be involved in helping people speak, and in places like Speaker Speak Live. You're someone who was afraid, who had an incredible story, who had an incredible chance to make a difference in the world. And as I said before, I don't want to do all the work to make a difference in the world. I can't, as Dana said, be weight loss and kindness and 1,000 joys, other things. But I can help the people who do come out of their shell, or their cocoon, I'm sorry for the butterfly, and present revelations to the world. And that makes me feel absolutely wonderful. The world is a beautiful place. It really is. It's full of beautiful things, sources of joy, sources of wonder, sources of improvement. And when I get a chance to help people bring those out and get past their limits, past the problems, that to me, that's what life should be about. It really is. So when I heard you were afraid of me, I said, oh dear, I've done something wrong. But I look at what you've become, and apparently I was doing something right. And every time I look at people like you, and don't get me wrong, you're my star, but every time I look at you and people who didn't know how to speak or were afraid to get out, to offer the world the miracles that they have, I get a feeling of joy and of importance and of wonder. Speakers Speak Live is a wonderful place to do that. It's not the only one, but it's a great one. But that's the sort of thing that, to me, makes the world valuable. Not just my story, but the stories of others and the greatness that they can bring forth.
Wow, thank you so much, Michael. Thank you. I'm going to then move over to my beautiful Dar. I just want to unmute you. Dar, I remember the first time you told this story. It was your signature speech, and you told us this story about you went on your shopping trip, and you can tell us now. But the first thing I want to say is, when you explained it and we laughed, it sounded so amazing. I was thinking, how are you able to look underneath the toilet? Because in South Africa, our basins or our rooms in the bathrooms is like from top to bottom or halfway, but bottom. We never can look underneath the stalls to see the next one's feet. It was very strange to me, and I phoned you and I said, what is up with this story? I actually forget, because it was my 7th trip to America last year for 6 months. It was my 7th trip, but I could not remember the stalls that was open. But if you can just, that was the most memorable story I can remember of all. If you can just tell us about that story, and then why did you join Speakers Speak Live, my beautiful?
Oh, okay. Which is first? Why did I speakers? Why did I join speakers, or my retail therapy story?
Your retail therapy,
okay.
please.
Okay, because this is part of my speech. What I learned with Speakers Live and working with Marty and Dr. Michael and Valda. But back before I became a believer in Christ, I used retail therapy as part of my filling me up, making me feel good. It was part of my addiction, was retail therapy. So I tell the story that one day I was on a quest, and don't mess with my retail therapy, because there was lots of sales going on, and I was so focused, and I was glazed over, because there was I'm filling up my shopping cart like this and like this and like this, to the point where I was ignoring my bodily need to function. So I thought, okay, I think I waited too long. Where's the bathroom? And I saw a restroom, and I went straight in, right in time. And we have stalls where they only go, they're up off the floor about maybe a foot or so. So I suddenly hear this clink on the floor. And I look underneath, and I'm going, oh my gosh, I see a man's belt on top of a man's pants, on top of a man's shoes. Yikes! I'm in the men's bathroom. Lord, get me out of here. I ran out of there so fast. So I am so grateful that we have stalls that are up off the floor so that you can see feet. It would have been totally awkward otherwise. So anyway, when I got out, I just told myself, I got to learn how to not take myself so seriously and laugh this off and go back to shopping. So that was one of my stories about learning to laugh at yourself, and laughter, and how important it is for healing us mentally, physically, and emotionally, and creating and dopamine and sorbitins in our brain, laughing and taking ourselves lightly. Long story short, after that was part of my story, and Valda helped me so much about how to get detailed in telling a story, about the belt and pants and the shoes. She was wonderful. I'm sorry she can't be on with us right now, but at any rate, I had Marty publish my book. It's a God story. It's a total God story, because I have been a manager and owned a franchise business for over 20 years, a nutrition business, and was managing other people. And in 2020, all of that changed, and I was relieved of a lot of the responsibility of the business that I had built. And so I had more time on my hands, and I met a person who was coaching me to help me decide what do I want to do with my extra time. And as it turned out, she said, Dar, you got a great story about recovery professions, and you can help a lot of people. So have you ever thought about writing a book? And I said, I hadn't, but let's pray about it. So we did. And I was very clear God wanted me to write my story of how I struggled and suffered with trials. And we all do. All of us have things that we're dealing with. But as I learned to grow in Christ and to get into recovery with a 12-step program, I learned spiritual tools to help me navigate through my trials, like prayer, trusting God. Laughter is a big one, but gratitude is enormous. Those are some of the tools that I teach and share about how to get through things and still experience hope. We all need hope and joy. So thanks to Marty, I through a bit my business, my friend had written a book with Marty. He helped her write a book, and she lives in Denver. So she got me connected to Marty, and the rest is, oh my gosh, Marty, help me. I'm trying to get it right. Reignite your joy, let God lead your dance through life. Marty is the one that helped me put all of this together in a most amazing publishing way that a type A personality who doesn't want to sit down and write, I could talk. I was able to talk to Marty. And I could walk through my house, and because I'm type A, I would keep moving, and he'd ask me questions and I'd answer them. And wow, it was amazing how he pulled out all kinds of stuff from my past and some of the lessons I've learned. And anyway, so that's my story. And I'm so grateful that I got on Speakers Live because I learned how to give a 45-minute speech. But it's all about, Marty taught, and it's all about pulling in others and caring about them and wanting to make it all about them. Oh, wow. So lots of good lessons from Speakers Live. And Dana is precious the way she manages now because it's so big. We have so many people on there now that I sure don't want to ever volunteer to manage them all anymore. But at any rate, it's very successful. So what a great problem to have. Anyway, I'm glad to be here.
Oh, wow. Thank you, my beautiful Dar. So you have shown us your book, and all of you has also written some of you books and published the books. I hope that you have your books. Yes, I will start with Marty, and if you can tell us about your book, and then we'll go to Dana, and then to Dr. Mike.
Sure, that'd be great. Well, I've produced over 30 books over the past 15 years. Am I unmuted now? Okay,
you're unmuted now. Thank you.
Yeah, one of the great things about the whole writing and speaking business is that if you write a good enough book, eventually you're going to be asked to speak. If you're a good enough speaker, your audience is going to eventually demand that you write a book. They're going to walk up to you, just like exactly what happened to me in 2003 when I was just starting to get into delivering internet marketing workshops. Somebody walked up to me and said, here's a $20 bill. I want to buy your book. And I said, I don't have a book yet. I need to get working on that. So in 2004, I self-published my first book called Winning the Internet Dogfight. Don't try to go buy that. It's way out of print. I probably have the last one right up there on the top of my stack there on the wall that is even in existence. But as the years went by, I made more books, and I got invited by the Wiley Group to produce 2 web marketing all-in-one for dummies books. And then I just got to the point where I had to figure out a better way for me to write because I'm not a very good writer. It takes me forever to write. And so I had to come up with a new way to do it. Well, at the same time as that was happening, I was asking every one of my new clients that I would bring on, I would say to them, well, you want me to help you, but to do what? What do you want? What do you want out of your business? What do you want out of your life? What do you want out of your free time? And there'd always be this silence on the other end of the phone. And I realized that almost all business owners, if not just people in general, really have no clue about exactly what they want. So how in the world would I be able to help them if I don't know what they want? So I had to figure out a process, and I put that into a book form, and it's called Lions Always Win: How to Spot What You Want in Business and Life and Get It Too. So you can go to lionsalwayswinbook.com. It'll take you right to Amazon. That is made for business owners and employees of companies that are wanting to get promotions. Well, a couple of years went by, and we started Speakers Speak Live, and I started to discover the same thing was true with speakers. Professional speakers really have no idea what they want. I'd say, so how many stages do you want to get on next year? How many virtual? How many in person? How far do you want to travel? And there'd be a silence on the other end of the phone. So I took this book and I customized it into a second edition called Lions Always Win: How to Spot What You Want for Your Professional Speaking Business and Life and Get It Too. So same concept, but it really goes into a lot more about my personal experience about how I used speaking to build a business and how I got into it and all the mistakes I made, so that a new professional speaker could look at those mistakes and hopefully not make them, and then go through this additional process of discovering exactly what you want and how to make the plans to get you there. So 2 different books, 2 different markets, 2 different audiences, but they both do the same thing. And that's really helped out a lot of people. Best-selling books on Amazon. So absolutely go check those out.
Wow.
Anything else you want me to report on?
No, thank you so much, my beautiful Marty. And that is exactly, if I'm doing my Monarch Butterfly program, one of the things I will put on the Spice Girls song, and I will ask the ladies, what do you want? What do you really, really want? And we will dance with the Spice Girls song. And then we have a beautiful session, because first of all, you don't know you will have it if you don't know what you want. Your clarity is like the most important thing. And for me, putting my things on my bucket list or on my dream list, 100 miracles happen to me every month, because I know what I want and I've put it down there. And most of it, I have done my imagination, and most of the time it comes out more beautiful than I even imagine it. So now next, it's up, Dana. If you can tell us about your book, thank you so much.
Absolutely right. So again, it's about kindness, and it's you have the power of kindness. That's it. You do, because I believe you do have the power of kindness. And this is a compilation of stories from people that I know from around the world, talking about how kindness that either they gave to others or someone was kind to them, and how that changed their life and their perspective on life. I just believe that kindness makes a difference, even if how do you speak to people when you go to the grocery store, the most mundane places? You go to the laundromat, the trash man comes by. Why not be out there and wave? If it's hot, give them a bottle of water. It just changes their perspective on the day. And I just believe that every single person can do that. My speaking in the Middle East is basically driven by an adopted family that I have, and it's heart adopted. No legal papers were drawn up, but I adopted a young man. He was 34 years old, was married, had kids, and over 10 years, I've become part of their family, and they're part of mine. And so it's wonderful to get to know them as people, because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding. And you could have misunderstanding here in America. Someone's from the South. Everybody has an idea what people are like. Someone's from Germany. Oh, you have an idea about people, from Germany. People from New York. Well, I can tell you about them. But do we really have any idea what they're like at all? And the last time I was in Saudi Arabia was in December, and my last day in Saudi. We're all sitting around in my brother's yard, Jasm, and talking and laughing and just having a wonderful family time. And Jasm leaned back in his chair and he asked me, sis, why do you do this? Why do you come here? Why are we a family? And I honestly had not ever articulated what I was thinking, but I told him, I said, because I believe that if I understand you, there's less fear, there's less discrimination, there's less avoidance. And if I can come back to my circle of friends in America and talk about you as a person, my family, what do they do? What are their dreams? What do they want for their kids? I have 2 granddaughters, which I never thought I would have because of my little adopted family here. And I just believe that if I can bring back some understanding, there will be less fear, less misunderstanding from their point about people they've never met. And he said, I think that's a book. So I am in the midst of writing a book about how we can find understanding through our differences, because we're not all that different. You're from South Africa and I'm from Wyoming, and we have so much in common.
Wow.
So much in common. I don't have a beautiful accent, but other than that, we have so much in common. And I just think that I've had friends when I said, oh, my friend from South Africa is coming. Oh, there's white people in South Africa. I mean, there's this misunderstanding about around the world. So if we can draw other people into what we know, the world will be a better place. That's my belief.
Thank you so much. And can I tell you all, you have a beautiful accent, all of you. Let me bring in Valda. I see she's in the car. Just hold on for me. Oh, wow, Valda. I will be in you in a minute, Valda. Dr. Michael Alexandra, you can tell us about your book. And then I've got a lady that's on the line. Not online, but she said, Nelda said, wish I could be part of this live conversation. And Nelda, just being here is making you a part of this conversation. Thank you for your comment as well. Thank you so much. And then she's also have another comment to say, so on point. Thank you so much, Nelda. So Dr. Michael Alexander, let me just unmute you and then... Yes.
A lot of the speaking that people do and things they think of when they think of public speaking is 45-minute long discussions. And that's important, and I teach a lot of that. But little secret, sometimes it's short conversations. And some of the speaking I'm proudest of was convincing my son to do the dishes. I have actually spent several years as a professional expert witness on that. And over the course of that time, I didn't give long, drawn-out speeches. I got waylaid by people who wanted me to say the wrong thing. That was their whole basis. How do I trick him into saying what he doesn't want to say? And teaching people how to carry on quick conversations, think off the cuff, and work quickly is also a key part of what I do. And teaching them how to survive and thrive on the witness stand. And this was my best-selling book, and very important. Now, I've also got, Marty, here's a secret to publishing a book quickly. During the big Hillary Clinton scandal with her secret server, I published a book called Secret Server, Hillary Clinton's Deleted Emails. For those of you who are wondering, it's a blank book because, after all, they were deleted. I have other books I'm working on too, and just came up with a proposal for another one last night, a series of gaming stories. So there's lots that you can do with that, because again, just as people have an urge to hear your stories, they have an urge to read and to learn from that too.
Wow. Thank you so much, Michael. I'm just going to put you on mute. And then for me, I was also part of a co-author book that is an international best-selling that came out in December. But I would also love to do my book. I have done the imagination of 5 adult books and 10 children books. So I'm busy with the one, my personal story. And then my children book, I have done 5 already. So soon you will be hearing more about that. But while we have got Valda, quickly, Valda, if you can just tell us if you do have any books available. I cannot.
No, I don't have, well, technically, if you go on Amazon, you'll see that I have a book out there. However, I ended up in an interesting situation with the publisher. So we're kind of in a fight about it. And so it's not available. So I'm still working on that. I do have a really short novella, I suppose. When I do women's health and women's sexual health, it's one called Sins, Secrets, and Lies. And it's basically just a series of short chapters, about 70 pages, that is supposed to help you if you're trying to have a reasonable, of course, there are ambulances going by and fire trucks. If you're trying to have a reasonable, intimate life, it teaches you really just to read these short stories to get your head out of work, children, taking care of parents, everything else. Just is a little bit of an escape for a few minutes. And then I have chapters in several medical textbooks on equity and diversity and cultural competency. So, but I'm going to get my own book out this year. That's my promise to myself.
Yes. Oh, wow. Thank you. I'm just going to mute you quickly. So my beautiful giants, as I fondly and lovingly call you, thank you for being part of my life. Thank you for being part of this amazing show. And I am so honored to be able to celebrate and showcase you all on the show. I have a beautiful song that Jennifer Gerald wrote for me and sang for me. So I would love you to have a dance, but let me go back and then I will ask you properly. Will you have a dance with me? Okay, it's not playing. Sorry for that. Let me try again.
Walking on sunshine or dancing in the rain. Sprinkle me with fairy dust so I can fly away. Smiling at a moonbeam or squinting in the sun. Sprinkle me with fairy dust and cover me with love. From butterflies to eagles, oh, there's magic in that light. Sprinkle me with fairy dust. Watch me take to the sky. Singing, dancing, soaring high above.
Wow. I hope that you enjoy my beautiful song. I gave her the sprinkles, I gave her the fairy dust, I gave her the hugs, I gave her all the things that I wanted to in my signature song, and she delivered. So I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for inspiring me to keep on continuing and keeping my accent, because I cannot change my accent. So I just want to say thank you for loving me, and may you all have a beautiful week.